Hello preppers, welcome. In this video, we'll be discussing about the type of questions and the difficulty of questions asked in Accenture, right? This video will be solving a lot of questions from Accenture aptitude, and meanwhile, we'll also see the difficulty and the way you can score the best out of it in the Accenture aptitude section, right? As in the aptitude exam. I'm not wasting a lot of time here discussing the Accenture syllabus because we have already uploaded a video on Accenture syllabus, and if not, we'll upload it soon. The link to which can be found in the description of this very same video. So you can go and watch the detailed video on Accenture syllabus and see how actually you have to prepare. So in this particular video, I'll just give you a basic idea onto the aptitude section and not waste time for the rest of the sections, right? Okay. So we'll do a lot of chit chat in between. Let us just start with solving questions, and in between we'll have some discussions as well. So here's the first question on your screen. Let me do one thing. Let me first give you some time to solve it. Let me show you how much time you need and how much time you actually should be, needing it to solve the question. So here's a timer of 1 minute for you guys, and your timer starts now. All right, so the question is pretty simple, just that a little lengthy. Let me show you how we actually approach this question. So it says, Anuj, Bibhuti and Chandu can lay 432 meters of wire together in 8 days. In a day, Chandu can lay as many more meters of wire than Bibhuti, as Bibhuti can lay more than Anuj. So what does that actually mean? Let me show you that over here. All right. Guys, what if I say, let us say Anuj takes X days. Or no, let us say Anuj can lay X meters of wire in a day, X meters in 1 day. So in that case, how much will Bibhuti lay? Let us say Bibhuti will lay X plus Y. So in that case, so basically Bibhuti lays Y more than A, right? So Chandu will lay the same Y more than B. So Chandu would be X plus Y, that is B's work, plus Y. So that would be X plus 2Y. This is what Chandu can lay. That what this means, right? Chandu can lay as many more meters of wire than Bibhuti, as Bibhuti can lay more than Anuj. So Bibhuti can lay Y more than Anuj. So Chandu will lay Y more than Bibhuti. So X plus Y plus Y. So then what is A plus B plus C's combined work, guys? X plus Y plus X plus 2Y. So that is basically 3 times of X plus Y. All right. ABC can lay 432 meters of wire in 8 days. So combined ABC can lay 432 in 8 days. So that would be basically 432 by 8 in 1 day. So what is that? 432 by 8 would be 54. So A, B and C can combined lay 54 meters in a day. Cool. So now let me just remove it from here. So we know this thing, right? I hope you have already noted it down. Okay. So A plus B plus C's combined one day's work was 3x plus y, which we found out to be 54, because 432 in 8 days, so 54 in 1 day. So then what is x plus y, guys? X plus y is 18. Cool. Another thing given to us is Chandu's 5 days of work. What is Chandu's 1 days of work, guys? X plus 2y. So Chandu's 5 days of work would be 5 into x plus 2y is equivalent to 7 days of work of Anuj. So 7 times of x, which gives me 2x is equal to 10y, or x is equal to 5y. Yes or no? So now let us substitute x as 5y here. So I'll get 5y plus y as 18. So y would be 3. If y is 3, x is 15. The question is, how many meters of wire can Anuj alone lay in a day? Your answer would be 15 meters. Because x is what is the meter of wires laid by Anuj in 1 day, and that is 15. So your answer is 15. Right? I hope that is clear to you guys, right? Guys, if you still have any doubts on any particular question, you can definitely reach out to us via the comment section, and me or my team will definitely help you out. Another important thing is the best 3 comments in this particular video will get the Accenture Prime Video course for free. So what is Accenture Prime Video course? A course designed in a way that we cover actually everything from the scratch, including the coding part, the verbal ability, the logical reasoning, the aptitude section, right, including the resume preparation and the interview preparation as well. So in Prime Video, you actually get the videos as well as the set of mocks that are available, right? So to link to purchase the Prime Video course is available in the description of the video. We also have a special coupon code for you guys, which is also available in the description of the video. So make sure you go and check that out. All right. Moving on to the next question, guys. So a question from series and progressions, which says S of n, where S of n denotes the sum of first and natural terms of a series, and Tm is equal to 291, then M is equal to, I'm again giving you a minute's time over here, guys, and your timer starts now. All right, guys. So we're given that. Okay, just a second, guys. We are given that S of n is equal to n cube plus n square plus n plus 1. So what is S of n? It denotes the sum of the first n terms of a series. Yes? So guys, what would be S of n minus 1 then? That would be n minus 1 cube plus n minus 1 whole square plus n minus 1 plus 1. Yes. So similarly, what would be S of m minus 1? M minus 1 whole cube plus m minus 1 whole square plus m minus 1 plus 1. And what would be S of m? So this means sum of the first m terms of the series, and this is sum of the first m minus 1 terms of the series. So this would be m cube plus m square plus m plus 1. Now, the important point here is, guys, what is Tm? Mth term. Can I say the mth term would be the sum of the first m terms minus sum of the first m minus 1 terms? For example, let me give you an example. Let us say you have 10 terms in a series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So what would be this term basically? So sum of all these minus sum of the first 9. Sum of the first 10 minus sum of the first 9 terms will give you the 10th term. That's what we have done here. The mth term would be sum of the first m terms minus sum of the m minus 1 terms. That is what you are supposed to find. So what is Tm, guys? That is 291. So from here we can write it as, so what is Sm? M minus 1 whole cube plus m minus 1 whole square plus m minus 1 plus 1. So that is Sm minus S of m minus, sorry, my bad, guys. So this would be with a minus sign, plus m cube plus m square plus m plus 1. This should be equal to 291. Yes. So guys, I'm not wasting time solving this entire equation over here. I hope you have got an idea here, right? So you have to basically do S of m minus S of m minus 1. That would be equal to 291, and from there you can calculate m. So when you solve this, you will get a quadratic, and when you solve the quadratic, you will get m as minus 29 and 30. Now which is the value that you are going to accept? Minus 29 cannot be a number of terms, right? You're supposed to find m. M is number of terms. So number of terms cannot be negative, right? That would be a natural number. So your answer would be 30. So m is nothing but 30. For more practice, what you guys can do is you can try putting this 30 here in Tm. Or you can find S of m using S30 and then S of m minus 1, and you can see that the difference between these two is 291. Alright, so moving on to another question, a question from number systems, right? I'm again giving you guys 30 seconds over here, and your timer starts now. Alright guys, so not a very tough question, to be honest. So how many 3-digit positive integers with digits a, b and c exist such that a is less than b and c is less than b? A is less than b, c is also less than b. They are positive integers. So what are positive integers? They can be anything from 0 to n or 0 to infinity. But they should be digits, right? So they cannot take values more than 0 to 9. Why? Because this 3 a, b, c should form a 3-digit number. Assume that a is in the hundreds place, b is in the tens place, c is in the units place, and a is a non-zero digit. Cause see, so the number is basically a, b, c, a 3-digit number. So it is very sure that a cannot be 0. Right? But b and c can be 0 as well. So guys, what is the maximum value they can take? The maximum they can take is 9, because they are a digit of a 3-digit. They are a digit of a 3-digit number, right? So their value can vary from 0 to 9 only. So now let me say b is 9. I'm fixing b as 9. So if B is 9, how many values can A take? A should be less than B. So A can be anything between 1 to 8, because A cannot be 0. And C can be anything from 0 to 8. Okay. So now when we have fixated value of B as 9, A can take 8 values and C can take 9 different values. So how many total permutations are possible from here? 72 different numbers are possible when B is 9, right? Similarly, when B is 8, A can be anything from 1 to 7. C can be anything from 0 to 7. So 7 values and 8 values. So that is 56. So how many total numbers are possible like that, guys? 72 plus 56 and so on till. So the next would be 42, because this would be 6, this would be 7. So 42 plus 30 plus 20 plus 12 plus 6. When 6, guys? So this is when B is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2. B cannot be 1, right? Because if B is 1, A should be 0, but A cannot be 0. And it is given that A must be less than B. So the minimum value B can take is 2. Right? So from here the total number of possible numbers are 240. Got it? Okay. Moving on to an interesting question from probability. I'm giving you guys 30 seconds and your timer starts now. Alright. So the question says, there are 3 cartons each containing a different number of soda bottles. There are 3 different cartons, right? 1, 2 and 3. The first carton has 10 bottles, of which 4 are flat. The second has 6 bottles, of which 1 is flat. And the third cartons have 8 bottles, of which 3 are flat. What is the probability of a flat bottle being selected when a bottle is chosen at random from one of the 3 cartons? So guys, how many of you know about conditional probability? Let me call them carton X, Y and Z. And so the scenario here is, we have to find the probability of a flat bottle being selected. Now the first thing is, you are choosing a random bottle from any of the cartons, right? So each carton has a probability of being selected. So what is the probability of each carton being selected, guys? Because there are 3 cartons. So the probability of this carton being selected out of this 3 is 1 by 3. Same 1 by 3 for this and 1 by 3 for this. Yes. Now, if this carton is selected and you choose 1 bottle out of it, what is the probability that that particular bottle is a flat bottle? 4 by 10. Because out of 10 bottles, 4 are flat. So the probability that a bottle chosen from this carton is flat is 4 by 10. For the second one, it is 1 by 6, and for the third one, it is 3 by 8. So what is the probability, guys? What is the answer here? the best way to represent it here is I could have used a very simpler way and solve it quickly, but that will not help you understand the concept. So the concept here is, what is the probability of the first carton being selected? 1/3. And if that is selected, what is the probability that the bottle is flat? This way you have selected a flat bottle. Similarly, the second carton being selected 1/3 and the probability of a bottle being flat from there is 1/6. Again 1/3 into 3/8 for the third carton. On solving, you will get the answer as 113 upon 360. Right? As I've said, guys, if you still have any doubts, you can definitely reach out to us in the comment section and me or my team will definitely help you out. All right, so a very interesting question from speed, time, and distance. I'm giving you guys 1 minute over here and your timer starts now. All right, guys, were you able to solve this particular question? Okay, even if not, let me now help you out. So a lengthy question, to be honest. In such cases, it is always honest that you draw the timeline of the entire scenario and then try to solve it. So PT Usha and Shelly John decided to run a marathon between Ramnagar and Jamnagar. Between Ramnagar and Jamnagar, right? Both started from Ramnagar at 1 p.m. On the way are two towns, Ramgarh and Rampur. This is Ramgarh and this is Rampur. Cool. Separated by a distance of 15 kilometers. So the distance between these two is 15 kilometers. PT Usha reaches Ramgarh in 90 minutes running at a constant speed of 40 kilometers per hour. So let us say we are drawing a timeline for PT Usha now. So she started from Ramnagar, she reaches Ramgarh in 90 minutes at a speed of 40 kmph. So then what is the distance between Ramnagar and Ramgarh, guys? 40 kilometers per hour, 90 minutes. So 90 minutes is 1.5 hours. In 1 hour, she would have traveled 40 kilometers. In 30 minutes, she would have traveled 20. So the distance between Ramnagar and Ramgarh is 60 kilometers. One thing that we got to know from here. All right. She additionally takes 30 minutes to reach Rampur. She takes 30 minutes to reach Rampur. Between Rampur and Jamnagar, she maintains an average speed of V km per hour where V is a whole number, right? Cool. So that's all we have from here. Talking about Shelly Jones. Shelly Jones, being a professional marathon runner, maintains a constant speed of 18 km per hour. So throughout, she maintains a constant speed of 18 km per hour. They both reach Jamnagar together after n hours. N being a whole number. So what could be the total time taken by PT Usha? What is actually the time taken, guys? The time taken is n hours by both Shelly Jones and PT Usha, and we have to find the time taken by PT Usha. So we actually have to find n hours. So guys, if Shelly Jones can cover, see, one thing is for sure that the distance between Ramnagar and Jamnagar will be a constant value. Whatever with the speed of PT Usha or Shelly Jones, or whatever with the time taken by them, but the distance would be same. Yes? Now, so what is the total distance, guys? 18n, cause the speed of Shelly Jones was 18 km per hour and she took n hours. So that means speed into time will give me the distance. So the total distance between Ramnagar and Jamnagar is 18n, right? So now this 18n is equal for both PT Usha and Shelly Jones. But now let us take it in terms of PT Usha. So for her, what is 18n? For her, 18n is this 60 km first, plus this 15 kilometers, plus from Rampur to Jamnagar, what was her speed? Her speed was V. And what was the time taken by her? So she totally took n hours, right? From here to here, she took n hours. So to find the time taken between these two, we have to subtract the total time taken from Ramnagar to Rampur. So that was basically 30 minutes and 90 minutes. So what is 30 minutes and 90 minutes? That is 2 hours. So n minus 2. From here, this would be 18n is equal to 75 plus V into n minus 2. So which means (18 plus 2V n is equal to 75. N is equal to just a second, guys. So this can be written as 75 minus 2V. I just have a note of it, so let me just write it from there, not wasting much time. So from here I'll get N as 75 minus 2V upon 18 minus V. One thing given to us is N should be a whole number and V is also a whole number. So try substituting values from here. Try putting 1. When you put 1, you will get it as 73 upon 17. So 73 upon 17, n will not be a whole number. For 2, it will be 71 upon 16, not a whole number. So even for n is equal to 2, it won't be a whole number. Try putting n is equal to 4 here. Even in that case, it won't be a whole number. But when v is equal to 5, we will get n also as 5, which is a whole number. So your answer is basically n is equal to 5, which is when v is equal to 5. Now, the important point here in this particular question is to understand the first part wherein we are timelining everything, right? You must understand why we plotted like this and why the distance must be same. That is one important thing that you should understand. If you are, at least if you are able to find the equation from which is 18n is equal to blah blah blah, if you are even able to find up to that point, it was good to go, right? Okay. So let's move on to the next question, guys. Okay, a question from numbers series which says 1 unit of X% alcohol is mixed with 3 units of Y% alcohol to give 60% alcohol. If X is greater than Y, how many integer values can X take? I'm giving you a minute's time over here, guys, and your timer starts now. Alright, guys, so a little tricky question. It says 1 unit of X% alcohol is mixed with 3 units of Y% alcohol to give 60% alcohol. If X is greater than Y, how many integer values can X take? Now, talking about the basic rule of alligation and mixtures, how many of you are familiar with this? Wherein we write M here, C here, and D here. This gives us D minus M, this gives us M minus C. So here we write the dearer quantity, here we write the cheaper quantity. So guys, this is something which I'll try to explain you over here, but it takes a little time to understand. We have taken care of it very carefully in our Prime Video courses and also in a lot of videos on our YouTube. So make sure you go and check it out once again if you're not very clear with this. Because this is one of the best tricks to know in mixtures and alligation, and if you are comfortable with this one, you can solve any question asked from alligations and mixture and quite quickly and correctly. So, yes, another reminder here is, guys, we are giving you a special discount on the Prime Video course for Accenture. So, you can go and check it out in the description of the video. The link to purchase the online course and the coupon code as well is available in the description of the video. All right. So, this is what. So, what is D here? So, we are mixing X% alcohol with Y% alcohol, right? Given that X is greater than Y, so that means what is dearer quantity? Dearer means the costlier quantity. So, the one having more alcohol will be the costlier one, right? So, this would be X. This would be Y. Cheaper would be Y because X is greater than Y. So, Y is smaller. So, Y is cheaper. What is M, guys? So, when we mix together, we get an alcohol which is 60% alcohol. So, M is 60. So, from here, what is D minus M? D minus M is X minus 60. And M minus C would be 60 minus Y. Now, as per the formula, we know that D minus M upon M minus C is equal to quantity of cheaper upon quantity of dearer. So that means X minus 60 upon 60 minus Y is equal to, so what is the quantity of cheaper, guys? Cheaper is 3 units and dearer is 1 unit. So which gives us 3 times 60 minus Y is X minus 60. We have got an equation finally here. Our question is, how many integer values can X take? Now, another important thing to know is, from mixtures and alligation is that when you are mixing a cheaper and dearer quantity to get a mean quantity, the cheaper is always less than the mean and the mean is always less than the dearer, right? Which means Y is less than 60 is less than X. So basically X is greater than 60 and X is an integer. Another thing is, because X and Y are in percentages, So x should be less than 100 because percentage can go max till 100, right? So x is anything between 60 to 100. Another thing is, for any values y will take, any integer value that y is taking, 60 minus y would be an integer, cause s to be an integer. So this even y has to be an integer. Now, for any, let us say we take the value as 50. So that will not satisfy. You can check that out. Let me just try for it once. Okay, let us put y as 58 here. In that case, this would be 60 minus 58 is equal to x minus 60. So if you put y as 58, this would be 6. 6 is equal to x minus 60. So x would be 66. When you put x as 59 here, that is the max that you can put, right? When we put y as 59 here, x will be 63. When I put y as 60 over here, so this would be 0, so x would be 60. But x cannot be 60 because x must be greater than 60. Yes? So the maximum value y can take here is 59. Minimum can be, so you can check it out for minimum, right? Putting x as 100 max, you can get the minimum value of y. But that was not our question. Our question was the number of integer values x can take. So see, we have seen that the minimum value x can take is 63. Another important thing is 60 minus y would always be an integer. And if an integer is multiplied by 3, so that means this particular area will take a value which is a multiple of 3 always. Yes? Your values from here that you will get is x is equal to 63, 66, 69, 72 and so on till 99. I've asked you, right? You can put x as 100 over here and see what minimum value y can take. Maximum y can take is 59, minimum y can take, you can find it out from here. So this will be the values x will be taking. So the number of values that x can take is 13. That is your answer. Okay, talking about another question from series and progression. Sequence P is defined by P of n is blah blah blah. Sequence Q is also defined as something. So if P of k is greater than Q of k plus 2, what is the smallest value k can take? I'm giving you guys a minute's time over here and your timer starts now. Guys, the question is P of n is equal to P of n minus 1 plus 3 and P1 is 11. Yes? So that means the first term is 11. What is the common difference, guys? P of n minus 1 plus 3 is P of n. So that does not that mean that the third term, the common difference is 3? Do you agree to that? All right. So in that case, what would be P of K? So what is nth term? Nth term is basically A plus n minus 1 into D. So what is kth term? Kth term would be A plus k minus 1 into D. That would be 11 plus k minus 1 into 3, which would be 8 plus 3k. Yes or no, guys? So this would be your pk. Talking about the second sequence, q of n is equal to q of n minus 1 minus 4. So guys, what is the common difference here? N minus 1 term plus minus 4 is qn. So the common difference is nothing but minus 4. Third term is given to you as 103. What is third term, guys? Third term can be written as a plus n minus 1 into d. So that is 3 minus 1 into d. So that means a plus 2d is 103. So a is equal to 103 minus 2d, which is 103 minus 2 into minus 4. So minus 8, so plus 8, 103. So a is 111. For the second series, a is 111. Common difference is minus 4. So what would be q of k plus 2? K plus 2th term would be a plus n minus 1 into d, right? So that means k plus 2 minus 1 into d, which would be a plus k plus 1 into d. You know that a is 111 and into k plus 1 into minus 4. So that would be basically 107 plus k, sorry, 107 minus 4k. This would be your q of k plus 2. Cool. Now we have said that p of k should be greater than q of k plus 2. So p of k is 8 plus 3k, writing from here, right? Should be greater than q of k plus 2. Q of k plus 2 is 107 minus 4k, which will give me 4 plus 3, 7k should be greater than 99. So k should be greater than 99 by 7. The smallest value k can take. So guys, what would be the smallest value k can take? K should be greater than 99 by 7, and obviously k must be a natural number, right? So guys, what is 14 times 7? That is 98, right? So k cannot be 14, right? Because k should be greater than 99 by 7. So 99 by 7 is something around 14.1. So what is the smallest value k can take? K is greater than 14 minus 1. So smallest value k can take is 15. Cool. Alright. So moving on to the next question, which says, doctor has devised a test for leptospirosis that has the following property. You guys can read it out. I'm giving you guys 2 minutes over here to think about this particular question and come out with the correct answer. A little tricky question, so try to give your best and try to get the final answer correctly, right? So your timer for 2 minutes starts here. All right, guys. So let's move on to the solution for this question then. I hope you found this question a little interesting, right? So, doctor has devised a test for, let us call it lepto, right? Lepto that has the following property. For any person suffering from lepto, there is a 90% chance of test turning positive. Patient has lepto and test positive. What is the probability? 90% means 0.9. For any person suffering from lepto, there is a 90% chance of the test turning positive. So that means person has lepto and test positive is 0.9. Patient has lepto and test negative would be 0.1. Because patient has lepto and test positive is 0.9. So patient has lepto and test negative is 0.1. Again, for a person not suffering from lepto, patient no lepto and test positive, what is the probability of that? For a person not suffering from lepto, there is an 80% chance of the test turning negative. So, person no lepto, test turning negative, 80% chances, so that means 0.8. So, for a person not having lepto and the test turning positive would be 0.2. Yes? Alright. Now, the question says, it is known that 10% of the people who go for testing has lepto. So, person who goes for testing, 10% has lepto and 90% does not have lepto. So, now, first, so we have to find what is the probability. So, if a person who gets tested positive for a lepto, what is the probability that they actually have lepto? First of all, let us find probability of the test positive. So, when will the test turn positive? When the person has lepto and the test is positive, plus when the person has no lepto but still the test is positive. We are actually finding the total probability of the test turning positive. So there can be two cases. First is when the person has lepto and the test was positive. The second is the error when the person had no lepto but the test was positive, right? So now, what is the percentage that probability that the person has lepto? 10% chances, because those who go for test, 10% have lepto. So that means 0.1. And the person has lepto and test positive is, the probability is 0.9. Person, so those who go for test, 90% have no lepto. So person having no lepto is 0.9. And the test turning positive. Person has no lepto and the test turning positive, the probability is 0.2. So what is the total probability from here, guys? That is 0.27. Now, this is the total number of cases. Now talking about the actual scenario, when the probability when it is actually positive and the person also had lepto, this particular area. So what would be our probability? Total probability would be 0.1 into 0.9 divided by 0.2. Why this, guys? Because this is the total number of times when person will be tested positive, and these are the total times when the person will actually have lepto and test positive. This case, right? Actually have lepto and test positive, and this total means the person will test positive whether or not he has lepto or not. So the total cases upon total favorable cases. So your answer is 0.09 divided by 0.27. So your answer is 1 upon 3. I hope you guys got this. If you guys still have doubts, you can definitely reach out to us in the comment section and me or my team will definitely help you out. So now, guys, talking about some special things for you. the best 3 comments on this particular video will get the online classes or the Prime Video course for Accenture for free. So the Prime Video course is a course that actually includes all the video lectures and all the mock tests of all the sections that are supposed to be asked in Accenture, including your resume building and your interview preparation. The link to purchase the Prime Video course is available in the description of the video. And yes, we also are giving you a special coupon code which will expire very soon, and the coupon can be found in the description as well. Guys, apart from that, we also have Royal Pass. So what is a Royal Pass? A Royal Pass actually means you get access to all the courses that are actually available on Prep-Insta. All the 30 plus company specific courses, all the nano degree courses, all the resume building courses, and everything that you actually need. So everything that is available on Prep-Insta today or something that will also launch in the future, you will have access to it if you are a Royal Pass user. So we are also running a special discount coupon onto the Royal Pass as well. You can find the coupon code in the description of the video. Another important fact about Royal Pass is you also get certifications for the nano degree courses such as C, C++, Python, DSA, Java that you complete from us, right? So that is also one important thing. Apart from that, guys, to get notified about all the placements happening in the country, make sure that you have subscribed to our social media handles, the link to which is also available in the description of the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll be connecting back to you in the next video.